I said get over it when you come out of a relationship, obviously, assuming that you're coming out of a normal relationship, not a narcissistic abuse relationship. And of course, you shouldn't pay attention to those kind of comments. Hi guys, welcome to Co-Parenting the Narcissist 101. I'm Kate. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Don't forget to hit the bell so you know when I upload more videos. When do I heal from narcissistic abuse? When do I fully get back to myself? Guys, it's going to be different for everybody. And of course, and I keep repeating this, there isn't any timeline for this. But you definitely have to go through all the stages. All the stages, of course, you probably be in denial, you probably anger, you feel sorry for yourself, you eventually accept what happens. Of course, acceptance doesn't mean that it's right, but all those stages, I think everybody eventually goes through it. You go to that stage of it didn't happen, and then you finally believe it did happen, and then you feel sorry for yourself. You forgive yourself for things that you felt you should have done different, to have saved yourself when you realize what you're dealing with. And then of course the confusion that comes with this type of relationship is in like a normal relationship where there's closure and there's what happened. Some of us, the narcissist got up and left. That's it. Ran off with the new supply. Some of us, we had to run out. But sometimes you're running out, you're confused about what the heck just happened. I mean, you went from you get married and you have kids, and then you're literally running out because that's the only option you felt you have, was to leave. You need to leave. But still, that doesn't stop you when you leave to kind of sit down and ponder, like, where did it even start? Of course, when you start reading about learning about narcissistic abuse, you realize, oh, that makes sense, because even as you're coming out, it didn't make sense. All you knew was they ran off or you left, but still the confusion is still there. So when people come and expecting you to be okay 100% in a month or whatever, I mean, after all, he left, after all, she left, why you still feel this way? Obviously, they don't understand. And of course, nobody will really get a grasp of what this is unless you live through it, because none of it makes sense. But yet, that's your life. You lived it, So when do you fully heal for this? When do you get back to your yourself? There's so many factors going to affect this. How long was the abuse? How severe was it? Like, how crazy was it? So all that will come into play to determine how much time you need to get back to yourself. And none of those things are going to be in a hurry. These people, the covert narcissists, they slowly but surely, keep chipping away at you. They keep going at it, going until they're finally, their target obviously is to reduce it to nothing. So it depends on how far in, how far they chipped and how far they went in. That depends on how far or how much work needs to be done to come out of it, to come back to your full self. But you will come back to your full self eventually, but it just depends on how long it takes. But it doesn't even matter. Every step is, as long as you're moving, you're healing, you're heading towards that. It might take you 6 months, it might take you 2 years, it might take you 6 years. Point is, every day you wake up, you're better than you were before. You're better that you were out of the toxic relationship. You're better that this toxic person is not next to you anymore. And then you keep your eyes forward and you keep moving forward. So everybody's recovery time and the healing time is not going to be the same. And people that weren't in a narcissistic abuse relationship, type of relationship, won't understand. So when they talk about get over it, or which I heard that it has happened, this and whatever, you left, don't understand, and they never will. And then you don't really waste your time trying to explain this, because you have to live through it to get it. You have to live through it to get it. Trying to explain this to different people that haven't been through it doesn't make any sense. One of it doesn't make sense to you sometimes, because if you weren't there, but you were there, so definitely it was really happened. So there's no timeline to this. When you come out of this is when you come out of it. When you fully get back to yourself is when you get back to yourself. You don't let anybody tell you or dictate to what you have to do. The only thing that you have to promise yourself is that you are making every effort. You are taking the step, an inch, a step a day, whatever. You're moving. That you're not stagnant, because obviously that's where the narcissist wants you to sit. You go through the emotions, you denial, anger, hurt, you cry, all that. All that needs to take place. It will take place, because that's you grieving. All of that will happen. But as long as you finish doing all that, and then you get up and you start going. You step one step at a time. That's all we got, is one step at a time. So do not let whatever people's journey and their recovery time or their healing time affect you. You will heal when you heal, as long as you keep moving. All right, guys, take care. Get your mind together, and everything else will fall into place.